Hey guys, it's Cameron here with Emerson House Buyers. Every week I bring you tools, tactics, strategies, lessons I've learned, things that have helped me build up a sizable rental portfolio in about 2 years. This is going to be a part 2 of another video I've done. It was about loans, personal loans to an individual versus an LLC. And this is going to piggyback off of that and give a little bit more details about kind of the structure and how I structure some of the things and how you can do this something very similar to mitigate risk of interest rate rise and some other bits. So I'm using my fancy dandy whiteboard here, and I am I'm drawing a bank here. We have an individual on one side, and then we're going to have a couple guys on the other side. And these guys are going to have little ties because these are business guys, right? So these guys have some ties. So this is a business. So higher interest and higher risk. Can you guys see that? Does that make sense? So I'm going to walk through this. So essentially the last video was about personal loans to me and how basically what I'll do, I'll give you a quick recap. So what I do is I get loans for my business. So Cameron Tope gets loans for Emerson House Buyers. So I go to the bank and I say, I, Cameron, want a loan from you, Miss Credit Union. I personally can get a loan at 3.25% because I am low risk. I have a great credit score, I have good income, and I'm going to put 20% down. So they think. I'll explain some of that later, but there's low risk, so I get a lower interest rate. Now, and when I say a loan, I mean a loan on a piece of property. So on a house, a mortgage, a conventional loan. If a business, two business guys walk up, they go into the bank, they sit down, they say, yeah, here's a business. We're trying to get a loan on this property, on this piece of real estate. And here's our LLC documents, and here's some tax returns. And the guy's going to say, well, you can file bankruptcy. You're a business. What are you going to do? What's going to happen if you guys can't afford the payments? Are you personally going to endorse this loan? And people don't want to do that because it's more risk, right? I don't want to have to endorse I don't want to have to personally endorse a $5 million piece of real estate where the mortgage payments are $15,000, $20,000 a month. Would you want to do that? No. So business loans, you absolutely can, and sometimes you have to do that to get the deal, but the business loans on a property, i.e. commercial financing or just a traditional business loan, is more risk. And when you have more risk, if you have an increase in risk, you're going to have an increase in your interest rate. Because you have these business guys, we have a business. An individual doesn't have nearly this amount of issues because the individual, they can come take your house. You got a primary residence, you have stuff, they can come take it. If the LLC, and a lot of people do this, you're supposed to put one property in one LLC. So this property goes into this LLC, you get a loan. Well, what happens if it goes bankrupt? Like I said, you have to personally endorse it. The assets are gone. There's nothing they can take if that piece of real estate goes down. If they owe $100,000 on it, it's worth $50,000. There's nothing they can do, especially if you get a non-recourse loan, which non-recourse means they can't come after you personally. Now, what do I do? Again, kind of a recap from some of the other video. This is part 2. I'm trying to go into a little more of the details here, a little more of the specifics. I get the loan from the bank, a loan on my property, Cameron Tope, that I have already hard moneyed. So basically, I have a private money investor now. A private money guy gave me the $100,000 for the house. It's worth $180,000. And I go to the bank and I say, hey, I want to cash out refinance. Me, Cameron Tope, wants to cash out refinance that property. They go, perfect, Cameron Tope. Here you go. Let me give you 80% of that. So what is that? Like $144,000. Yeah, $144,000 on that example on 180. So we'll just say it's 140. They give you 140, and I pay off the hard money guy. And guys, I've created other videos about this, about the cash out refinances, the BRRRR strategy: buy, rent, rehab, buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. This is exactly what I'm trying to describe here. So go back and watch that video. It's BRRRR. I'm writing on a whiteboard. But that's how I get my money back. And then I take that deed that says Cameron Tope has this loan on this property, and I put it in a land trust, meaning it goes doop, over here to an LLC. All the financing stays in place, land trust. I'm not an attorney. Don't play on the internet. Double check with your attorney in your states. But what I've been told and what I'm utilizing is when you transfer your property to a land trust, it does not trigger the due on sale clause. And if you have a good relationship with your bank and you tell them, hey, this is just for liability reasons, I'm trying to do all this, they might allow it to go through. So that's another reason to choose small credit unions. Whew. I am so freaking happy that you guys are asking questions. It's amazing. You're trying to understand it. And I'm trying to do my best to explain, because some of this stuff does get complex. So don't feel bad. If there are more questions about this, let me know. Or tell me I need to go back to school to learn how to friggin' draw. But personal guy, low interest rates because he's got low risk because they've got assets he can take. Business, high interest rate because there's a higher risk. If they default, they can only come after the property or the business or the LLC. So it's more risky, i.e. more interest. Think you're looking now somewhere between 5.5% and 7.5% on a commercial loan, meaning a business loan for a multi-unit or business loan in general. You're looking at over 5 for those. And the personal loans that I'm getting through the credit union are still in the 3% range. Now they're a little bit higher, maybe 3.5, 3.75, depending upon what you do. But those are still out there. Even though the interest rates are coming up, there's still some good financing to be had. I hope this was helpful. If it was, let me know, guys. If it wasn't, let me know. I enjoy this, and I love the questions. Call me, email me, comment below. Guarantee you somebody else has this question, so please, please, please ask. And I'll see you guys next week. Keep asking questions. I love it, guys. I love it. And keep kicking ass out there. See you next week.